This video is sponsored by TameDog. Are you tired of having limited options and questionable quality when sleeving up your best decks? Worry not. TameDog sleeves are designed right here in Colorado, USA, made by players for players. They shuffle smoother and fit better than anything else on the market. A portion of each sale goes towards helping animals in need, and you can use promo code EBAM to save 5% off any order when you check them out at tamedog.store. Hello everyone, this is Everyone's Bad at Magic. My name is Thomas, and that's Titus, that's Austin, and this is a little bit of a weird one for us. We all went to the Siege, the 10K in Denver this past weekend, and we just want to talk about our experiences because we had three very different weekends. I went as I don't want to say content creator because that feels gross, but I was part of the broadcast team. Titus went and played for the weekend, which quite honestly was probably the most fun way to go. And then Austin was the only one of us who made any money because he was the judge. Um,
Big brain.
yeah, he played 3D chess. So we just wanted to give the little breakdown from all three perspectives, day by day. And we're going to start with Friday, which was the day of LobbyCon. And one of the really cool things about this event was it was thrown by Level 7, and they did just an insane job across the weekend. Shout out to John and other John who put this on. Yes, two Johns, absolute legends. But
You could say a
yeah,
lot of things about them, but they sure do not throw a party.
100%. Um, since Level 7 through this 10K, they have stores and they threw the LobbyCons at those stores. So I went to the LobbyCon at Level 7 North, which was just a sold out gold event. So I went for the first two rounds and got to play a couple games. I met Matt Hayes in my first round and somehow escaped with a draw. That dude is scary good on Control Farm, but we were able to force a draw with Prismari from the Scion of the Ur Dragon from Max D casting a Silence with Prismari on the board for 18 copies of Silence on the stack. And we were able to force a win underneath that. So that was my first round. Second round, I think I lost to a Kinnan who resolved a turn two Seedborn Muse into a double turbo pod. So what can you do? I bailed after that. It was already like 8:30 and I needed to be at the siege at I think 6:30, 6:45 the next morning. I didn't want to be up super late.
Dear
But
God.
yeah, it turns out when you're going to work, you have to be there early.
I thought I had to be there early. I wasn't there until like 8.
Yeah, no, I think I beat you a bit on that one. But yeah, so they hyped up the siege the whole time as being like in a castle. And I went into this being like, no, dude, it's at a DoubleTree Inn off of the freeway. What are we talking about? Like, you can't say it's gonna be a castle. It's at a DoubleTree Inn. That's corny. People are gonna show up and be disappointed. But when we got there, it like kind of had castle vibes. I was a little shocked.
It's a DoubleTree front, but in the back it's all castle.
Yeah, it is the true mullet of convention centers.
Yeah, I really liked the location. I thought the inside was pretty nice, especially with like the upper area.
Oh yeah, that upstairs was sick. And one of the cool things that was happening during this entire tournament was they had play space for anybody who wanted to show up. They were firing drafts up there all weekend as well. So I think they had like Modern Horizons 2 drafts as well as like drafts from the most recent sets. So if
Mhm.
you scrubbed out early, everybody had a thing to do. I don't know if any of us played in the redemption or not, but the redemption event was, I think, the biggest redemption event ever at 148 people that capped out. So after the 100 and how many, Austin?
32.
32. So I think
We capped originally at 128, but there were 4 people on the wait list, so we just blew open the doors and was like, Ah, come on in.
Why not? So after the diamond, there was a platinum.
Yep.
That's sick. But yeah, so Saturday morning, I showed up, didn't know what I was doing, and Raul was basically like, "This is your like, take your laptop, do this, monkey," and gave me a series of tasks to complete. So Raul is a true professional, MTG basics. If you know us, you have to know them. There's just no chance you don't. So I was working with Isaac from Squandering Resources, Hire from Playing in Power, and Eric from Critical EDH on the broadcast team, and it was kind of a whirlwind getting set up, and we had some technical issues getting going. It turns out that if you try to start a stream while there's a loudspeaker system going, you're not going to win with your little microphones that are all dainty on your lapel. Nobody's going to be able to hear you for the first 10, 15 minutes you're broadcasting, and you're going to feel really silly about it. But I think that's where we can jump off to you guys because that's player meeting.
This player meeting of day one, technically, of the event. So the 10K with 300. I think we actually had more than the cap. No, we had 300. A bunch of people were not there during player meeting, so we opened it up and brought a bunch of people off of the wait list. Yeah, round one was a little bit of a weird one, with the technical difficulties as well as everyone scrambling. Technically speaking, the judges were understaffed. However, we only really felt it during round one when people were raising their hands left and right, because no shows. And four or one, two, three, four, five, apparently six of us wasn't enough to handle all of that. But no, it was a blast, and all things considered, Saturday went really, really smooth.
Okay.
Usually there's a good statistic of there's one disqualification per 200 players in an event or 300 players, and we had zero the entire weekend.
Oh, that's nice.
We take those.
Okay. Speaking of you guys being short-staffed on judges, Isaac and I, despite our initial role as analysts or the people who were doing like interviews and stream games, things to keep the stream moving along between feature matches, we actually ended up going up on stage for each of the matches. Because you didn't have a judge to basically just like sit up there and babysit the table. That was our job, and we only called judges up when they were needed. And yeah, that was a fun and new and interesting experience. It was great on day one. We'll get into day two a bit later, and that came with its own set of challenges. But yeah, what we were basically just spending the day I did a ton of prep work to build little mini games for all of our featured creators. I got to hang out and talk with Nick and Mia from the Nitpicking Nerds. Got to meet Shauna, and we did a fun little mini game called Niv Mizzet in a Trench Coat, which was one of my personal favorites throughout the day. But yeah, Titus, how'd your round one go?
Oof. So it was a double ref and Mikey pod, seat one, seat two, with myself in seat three, and Kefka in seat four. I
We're,
mulled, so I could get a turn for curiosity on VV. I was playing VV Order. However, I decided it was better to see if I could, maybe see what I could do in this situation. And I mulled to a wrist for a Ristic Study, turn to Ristic Study. Too slow. The first one got down, I think it was like Crop Rot, Ancient Tomb, Manifold, turn to Treasonous Ogre, into Raph and Mikey, Extra Combat. I think it was Raph, and then got out an old Gnawbone. So even if we remove the Raph and Mikey, it would just delay a turn because we'd have to bounce it, right? So I think like the better thing to have would be like a Gilded Drake or something. The other
Yeah.
Raph and Mikey was stuck on like a Lotus Petal, and just Kefka and I couldn't really do anything. Took us out with Blightsteel Colossus.
Yeah, Raff and Mikey's a turn two deck. If you do not mulligan for that deck, you do not get a turn three with it most of the time. Like they have to whiff really hard.
Yeah, it felt, I know there's, benefits to like Italy and there's benefits to this, and one might be better more so than the other, but I don't know. It's pretty hard to deal with a deck that's not just like going on the battlefield and not casting multiple spells.
Oh yeah. It does not care about your Rhystic Study, does not care about your fish. If you are not hard countering Raph and Mikey when they come down on turn 2, you're just dead. Or bouncing them before they go to combat because it's a combat trigger. Doesn't care about damage, it cares about the swing.
Right.
Yeah. Um yeah, do you want to just take us right into your round 2, Titus? And then we'll go into our later things.
So in my round two, I was playing against Tim NeCrom. I believe I may have been second. I actually just don't remember the seating in this game. And then I was playing against OG Narset, the 6-drop one that casts spells on attack, and then
Mm,
Ragashai. Definitely a very respectful game, in all of our color pairings. And I tried to because I got out of Ragavan, and I actually swiped off the Tim DeCrom, Jessica's Will, which I got silenced when I was going to attempt to cast it. So it was a bit of a bummer, but that game turned into a slot game, and eventually we got overwhelmed by the Ragashai. It came to a point where it was like all three of us working together. Narset didn't really have anything going on. They didn't have a draw engine, but they had a smother and tithe. Everybody except me had a smother and tithe. So much mana, Ristics, card draw, all of it going on. Eventually, Ragashai played a Hexing Squelcher, and we spent 5 pieces of removal trying to get it off the board. So we were to clear the stack of other like threats on there. Tim McCron even dropped Mindbreak Trap, but overall, they had Angel's Grace, they just had all the stuff, and they were gonna do their thing. Got knocked out that round. Round three, went to a super low mole. It was Nissa and Timothrasios and Loot. Just Timothrasios was able to get it early on. There wasn't too much back and forth in that game. They just had a very safe, clean win. Uh, Went for Grand Abolisher and I think just produced Infinite Mana off of Devoted Druid. By the time we got to round four, I was really in a great position this game. I was in a pod with 3 cannons, and I sniped a fish from one of the cannon players with my Ragavan, and also got a BB down with a tandem lookout, and I had a lot of advantage. This is a game where I punted, and I'll talk about more later. But unfortunately, because of that, it turned into a slop game. Uh, Tried to force a breach a little bit later to see what we could do, and eventually just became a draw. And I believe by my fifth, our this is the one thing too. Just if you're gonna drop from the tournament, please notify the staff that you are leaving because, well, we do understand that we have to play 3 pods. It's unfortunate when you have to wait to see if your opponent's going to show up or not. Um, this was a 3 pod, Inala, Yuriko, and myself. I over respected the Inala and went for super low mole. The Yuriko got us with an antigen conversion and their 3 creatures. I believe that was like 9 Yuriko triggers or something like that. And it was
Jesus.
GG's and dropped from that event. I did play the Redemption as well. However, uh, was not the most successful during that time frame either.
Fair enough. Sorry you had a rough outing. It's never fun to play into a 3 pod, but I hope you at least enjoyed the games.
Yeah, no, it was a great time. So one of the things too that I would just like to say within this event, one, the location, I definitely think was very solid. We had a lot of space for things that were going on, and all the vendors and stuff there was really cool. Just a lot of people interacting with each other's, having opportunity to talk with other players at the table and after, and just see how, like we were talking out, about crashing out with Josh and Anthony. Just being able to relate to other people how you do, were you successful, where'd you fail, people talking about their mistakes during the games and how they could have navigated better. It was a fun experience. And, I really enjoyed my time during the event. It's a great time.
Nice. Yeah, for the rest of my day one, it was just kind of a bit of a blur. Went between each round filming my little shorts with so Isaac was basically interviewing the winner of each pod. Then we'd cut to me talking to the feature creator, playing a little mini game each round, and John from Level 7 was kind enough to give us a bunch of collector booster packs from Marvel superheroes to open on stream. So we are just ripping packs with the creators, which was super fun. He gave me and Isaac a couple each too to rip ourselves, which wasn't really expecting. So that was really sweet to be able to do. I got the new Selesnya Silence one, Jennifer Lawrence or something like that.
Jennifer
Jennifer
Walters.
Walters. Yeah. So I did get one hit, which was pretty cool. Yeah, and other than that, that was mainly my day one, was just kind of goofing around, making content, and just basically chilling. I did get a chance to walk around the hall like for maybe 5 minutes because I was just going. And there was so much cool art and so many cool vendors. And there was, I think it was or sorry, no, Ink something. Do you remember that artist's name? Um, I'll see if I can find her information, put it in the notes below. But she had three Thrasioses for sale that were pre-painted. It's like if I didn't have two Thrasios altars already, I would have bought one of them in a heartbeat. They were so
Hmm.
cool.
Was it
Uh,
the booth that was set up in the back?
to the left of the stage, if you're facing out,
Oh, didn't spend a whole lot of time over there because that was the
yeah,
um
our area.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and only like four people walked in front of camera while we were on it. Shout
Oh,
out
we take
Kane,
those.
who yeah, I'm gonna throw you under a bus, bud. It's like, dude, stop, stop, stop. It's like he looks back after walking through. It's like, where are we doing, bud? um, the other people who walked through, I'm not like the bestest friends with. Not that like we're enemies or anything, but like I like Kane enough to where I feel comfortable throwing him under a bus. What about you, Austin? Anything else on your day one?
Day one is I could not tell you the individual rounds. It's all one big long blur to me. We had a super rare judge call though.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, not a super rare judge call, a super rare infraction we that Sylvan ended up giving out. I don't know exactly the decks in the pod were Arkham Daxam, Tasigur, I think Kennen, and probably I don't remember the last one. The Arkham players said something that the rest of the table either misinterpreted or something along those lines, and so they proceeded on that knowledge. Come to find out that is not what they meant. So there's a small saying that if it is communication policy violation, it's often not. This is the rare occasion where it actually was. So player ended up getting it's just a warning, but usually it's not a communication policy violation because to get that it's very hard. You have to like deliberately misrepresent your board state and deliver wrong information to end up getting that.
That's what I was gonna ask. Was it
Mm.
just like, you have to present things correctly? I have, 5 lands
Yep.
or something like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Any public information you have to provide when asked. If I ask you how many cards are in your hand, you either have to show me them or tell me them or tell me how many.
Heard. I was like, but lying's technically legal, even though it's super
Correct.
frowned upon. But like, okay, board state representation, that makes
Any
sense.
public information. Yep.
Okay.
You can bluff all day long. It's like poker. Like you say you have force of wills in your hand when you only have four cards in Commander.
Yeah, it's like when you're representing having two force of wills by passing two lands to your friend.
Yeah,
Be like, yeah, no,
exactly.
we're covered here. And then it's like, all right. Well, day one, I think ended for me around like 9:30-ish. I don't know when you guys got to pack
Mm,
up and get out of there, but I was dead. I wanted to go to LobbyCon so bad, but my call time was, I think, around 8:30 the next day, and I just knew if I
mm.
did not go straight to sleep, I would not make it the next day.
Yeah, as soon as round six was over, Sylvan just like, peace, be here at 8:15 tomorrow for a group photo. Get out of here. And I went home.
Yeah. It sounds like we're ready for Sunday or day three. And setup was thankfully much later for this day.
Mm,
And you know what? I do have to say there's a little bit of pride in this. Top 40 was very Colorado heavy. We had
yes.
our locals representing a huge chunk of not just the top 40, but of the top 16 and of the top 10 who got buys. Like it was incredibly.
Wasn't the top in the top four, three out of four of them
Hmm.
Denver locals?
Yeah, Pigeon, Logan, and Jason all made top
Yeah,
four.
that was a wild game.
Yeah. So round one was pretty quick on the feature table. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it ended in like the first hour. It was a good game. Everybody was really friendly. It was that game ended, and I got to do a lot of fun stuff after that. I'll let you guys talk about round one if you guys have anything, and then I'm gonna go into my little thing.
I
Day
was
two
weird.
also just runs together for me. I don't know individual rounds.
Okay.
Um,
So
but I sure wasn't on the main event. I was on the redemption event day two, and that got spicy. I won't get into too much detail, but there, the hardest part about being a judge for me is keeping my mouth shut. The amount of times where I saw players making mistakes, I'm like, no, don't do it. But I couldn't say anything. And there was a judge call round four. I do remember that. That was not a fun one for me to take. It wasn't a disqualification or anything, um, but it did result in a player conceding at instant speed and just piecing out.
It's
You know what? I'll
brutal.
expand on it a little bit more. This
Okay.
is also the reason why I commented on the crash out video saying colluding is not against the rules. This match had collusion in it, but it was not indeterminate or improperly determining a winner, unfortunately. Well, fortunately that it wasn't that, but unfortunately that what they were doing was legal.
Okay. We're probably going to want to dive into that a little bit more in the future, but not today.
Okay.
So after round one ended, we had like 2 hours to kill because these were 3 hour rounds for top 40 and top 16.
2 hour,
Okay, fair.
120 minutes, I believe.
So one of the first things we did to fill time on stream was John from level seven found like a kid. I don't think they were like high school age yet. They were pretty young, and brought him up. Was like, let's go ahead and film this on screen on the streaming table. So BZ, Eric, and I played a game with this kid who was on Atali, and this kid almost cooked us. They were really good, and their name was Anakin, and Eric and I were just basically having a great time on camera, and BZ's like being kind of serious with it and like trying to play real magic. And I don't blame him. Like, why not? Like,
There
but
were a lot of like younger kids at this event, and they were cleaning house.
yeah. So BZ and the kid were basically taking Eric and Maya's lunch money while we're just messing around, and it was so much fun. It's not like we weren't making terrible plays or anything, but we're just joking around and having a good time. And
Mm.
like it was one of the more fun times I had during the entire day was playing that feature or that match on stream. And like I've gone back and watched part of it. It was good content. Like go back and watch that part of the stream. It was fun. But then after that game was like my saddest part of the entire day because I put together like this whole big thing for CDH Jeopardy to play between rounds if we had like an hour to kill, which we did at that time. And I could not get it to load up. And I didn't have time to rebuild it and run it.
No,
And we
that
made
was
play
so
that
much fun to
it was
play when we tested it.
bright. I might rebuild it so that we can play it and like just film it and run it at some point because I really, really liked that. I thought that was so much fun. But yeah, shout out to Mia and Beezy, by the way. They were so cool to hang out with. I think we might have something in the works. We'll see. But great people, super down to earth. I loved playing games with them. I hope we get to do so again in the future. Round two is probably going to get a little people probably have been talking a little bit about this game because this was a tensions was high were high match. Like that was played with a lot of skill expression between some very, very good pilots. Logan was in seat one. Maybe this was the game Tyler was in. Um, but it was basically Kinnan, Rageshai, uh no, it was Kinnan, Rageshai, Arkham. So it was Freedom Waffle seat two, another just insane Ragesh pilot in seat three. I think Z was his name, and
Mhm.
then Tyler Arkham seat four. This actual game went to tie, so it went to full time, and Logan got out of it because he was seat one going into top 16. Thankfully, when the stream ended and we cut away, the players did show their hands. They went through what would have happened if they'd continued playing it out. Logan would have won. He had more interaction. He had him dead to rights. Z conceded after the fact, regardless. So the person who would have won did win. But what that meant was that we were standing on stage for literal hours watching
Mhm.
this stack battle that never resolved or like just it kept resolving, I should say. And like then they would start another fight, but I think it ended on like turn four after literal hours. It
Dear God.
was an insane skill expression game, but it was miserable to like not be playing and still watching.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's where we're at there. And the finals was an interesting game. Unfortunately, player four had to leave about an hour into it to catch a plane, and that warps games.
Mhm.
The players did agree to split the pot ahead of the game, so nobody got screwed out of money. But who knows what that did to whoever won the game there. Jason did finally win his first super large event, so shout out to Jason. We love you, bud. We're super proud of you. Well deserved. You are the GOAT forever. But after that day ended and like all of the tears and the hugs and the joy, I finally just got to go out, eat some dinner with some homies, meet some new friends, and I finally got my LobbyCon game. So overall, it was a great weekend for me. And I took Monday off because I really needed it.
All right, Titus, how was your day two?
Oh, my day too. You know what? This both events I scrubbed out. First game, very intense. It was a game I was also in with Charles, and two other very good players. And in these games where I feel like I could possibly have a lead, I end up playing control on BB. I played BB Orienteer day two again, and I just don't feel like I was in a great position. It definitely made me reevaluate myself as a player and maybe what list I should be playing. Still definitely enjoy the commander and will continue to play it. Just gonna evaluate how I approach it moving forward. But that game went from like Charles coming back on a land and I forget what else into the cabbage merchant and just eventually dominated the game. And we were doing a lot to try to stop them. But it was a great time. Lost that one, gone game two. That game was also very fast. It was Tim Nadargo and Mono Red Ashling and Semi Blue Rock Thrass. The Tim Nadargo player attempted to go for like a win, just kind of seeing what would happen with playing out of Jessica's will. I interacted with it, and the Ashling won on top. I believe we weren't that far in that game either. The third game, unfortunately, was a three plod. Our fourth player did not show up, kind of like reiterating the point. I completely understand. I dropped from events too. When I'm ready, just please inform the staff so they can appropriately set up pods.
Not
Um,
only that, but it also makes the event run faster.
yeah.
You don't have to
Uh,
wait the 5 minutes.
That all happened because Austin didn't like tell anybody that that player scooped at instant speed. Just saying.
went into this game and it was Magda and Rogsai. Magda was popping off, definitely had a dominant position. Rogsai and I had to work together. However, Roxai eventually, when they landed their Necrodom, they kind of were like going into Adnaz on a following turn, and they had to Final Fortune into their next turn to go for a women attempt with Thassa's Oracle Tainted Pact. Unfortunately, it was Tainted Pact, or I would have had more interaction for it. And they had one more piece than myself, and were able to get there. After that, I appropriately dropped.
Way to make the distinction, bud.
Titus
um,
was not a problem player for me this weekend.
I believe it.
uh,
He's very considerate.
Redemption Redemption event only had 4 rounds. After the third game, it was like, all right, I don't think we see a chance here. But between all the rounds, it was great talking to people. They were like, ah, got there, or this the sad head shakes.
Yeah,
But
can't be understated how many cool people I met this weekend. And I'm not going to shout them all out here, but I look forward to next time I get to see them. Just unbelievably nice people.
I will I will concur and it was nice to meet all of, the new people I met and to talk with the people that I already knew as well. But stayed for a bit. I would have stayed to finish watching the match, but I just watch it from my phone instead when I left because I believe that top 16 game with Tyler, Logan and Evan and Z went the whole 3 hours. Did I have overtime on it too, or was it just
Yeah,
3 hours? Yeah. So, and then the following top four game also was getting close to time, was it not?
it got close to time, but it did not hit time.
Okay, okay. Yeah, they were very long fought matches. Um,
Those players left everything on the table. It was just an incredible skill expressive match. And it quite honestly shows why Pigeon, Logan, and Jason are just on a different level than we are. It's not like chess versus checkers. It is chess versus like marbles. Like we're not playing with the same game pieces.
but
But
overall, it was a great time. I think one of the things that it had going for it, it felt like a con. People were able to walk in and check out the vendors and, in between games, talk to players, when appropriate time frames, and also do some pickup games there. Like you mentioned, there was the drafting going on, correct, Thomas?
yeah, but I think that's our little recap of all of our days. I don't want to get like too much deeper into it other than our personal experiences. If there's any other things that you guys want to touch on really quickly, feel free. But come hang out with us next time we're at an event. That's pretty much all I gotta say here.
Yeah, this event just resparked my love for like judging, and I want to do a lot more massive events. So
Come to
it was.
MagicCon Atlanta with me.
I will look at the dates and see if I can apply.
All right. Tice, you got anything?
Well, I think we're good.
All right, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good day. Live your best lives. Later.
Bye bye.